Hello, my witchlets, and welcome. So last week we had talked about mental health and self-care, and I had mentioned that if you don't have access to a bathtub, you could always do shower bombs. So I thought maybe this might be a good time to show you how to make shower bombs. Now, they're very similar to a bath bomb. The main difference is the ones that we're gonna make don't contain citric acid, because I just assumed that not everybody has citric acid sitting in their apartment like I do. So, and it's a little bit more on the pricey side too. So I'm trying to keep these low cost for everybody involved so that you can do what you need to do in the least expensive way possible. So what you're gonna need is you are gonna need about 1 3/4 cup baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda. So the stuff that comes, you know, your Arm & Hammer freezer, fridge, gets rid of odors thing. You're gonna need a cup, 1 3/4 cups of that. You are gonna need half a cup of either arrowroot starch or cornstarch, whichever one you prefer. I'm gonna use arrowroot starch because I have more of it. And then you'll need a tablespoon of essential oils or essential oil blend, and we'll talk about that when we get there. And 4 tablespoons of water, and just FYI, 4 tablespoons is approximately a 1/4 cup. So I have my stuff here on the table along with my Black Russian and water. So mental health, you know, just as an update on my own here, I made a phone call today, and I now have an appointment with a psychiatrist on February 14th of all dates to discuss medication options and everything for the me, and we'll see how that goes. So that was a thing I did today. I was very proud of myself. You're also going to need a silicone mold for this. So I've got stars and I've got skulls, because of course I do. I don't know which one's going to be better. I'm probably just going to make them into stars, because why not? So what we're going to start with here is, this is a brand new box of baking soda. And okay, it opens differently than I remember them opening. Okay, so if I don't want to use this as a freezer thing, I have to rip off the top completely, which is really ineffective. But hey, here we are. So you just need baking soda. I tend to buy it either in a large box size or in bulk, but I did not have those options when I was at the store today, so I didn't do it like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and apparently break this apart because it's solid as a rock. All right, so we're gonna just start scooping in here. So we need 1 3/4 cups of baking soda, and we're gonna have to break down all of the chunks too, just FYI, so you can do that as you're scooping it in. Just got some of the fumes in my mouth. That's tasty. My grandmother used to have me, when I had sore throats and such, which was not frequent, but when I did get them, she would have me gargle with baking soda. She'd also have me gargle with salt water if my throat was like really, really sore. She would have me gargle with baking soda. She had me brush my teeth with baking soda. Baking soda had so many uses in my household growing up. And I think part of it was due to the fact that my grandmother, not only was she Pennsylvania Dutch and, you know, like a farmer and such, and poor, very poor, she also grew up during the Great Depression. So she never told me a lot of stories, but There were a lot of things we did that I was like, it doesn't make any sense until you put it in the context of, oh yeah, you survived the Great Depression, probably because you did things like this. So, you know, that was always interesting to me. Fascinating. All right. So 1 3/4 cups of baking soda is approximately a little less than an entire box of baking soda. Again, you want to break up the chunks as much as possible because you're going to mix other stuff in here. Well, I guess it is a whole box of baking soda. So that's 1 whole box down the drain. Actually, it's more like 1.5 cups. It's a little shy of 1 3/4, but I don't want to open the other box since apparently I did not get the ones that have I got the ones that are supposed to actually go in the refrigerator so they don't open properly. So that's about 1.5 cups. So I'm 1/4 cup off. I'm just gonna keep up with what I'm doing here. So we're gonna add this into the bowl. And then we're gonna get our arrowroot powder, starch, cornstarch, whatever you wanna use. And we're gonna need, let's see, this one's 1/2 cup. I was 1/4 cup short. I'm gonna give it a scant 1/2 cup, just to kind of keep the ratios as even as possible. Because this is actually, you know, science, so we want to keep the science as best as we can. All right, I will put a little bit more in here, and then we'll call it a day. There we go. Okay, so then you're gonna put your, oops, I just spilled water everywhere. Okay, so you're gonna add your arrowroot to your baking soda. And you're gonna mix these together so that one isn't necessarily more prominent than the other. So right now I have all of my arrowroot starch on top. So you want to kind of blend that together and mix it around. Now there are a billion recipes, like literally. Oh, hi kitten. Nova. All right. Let me try this again. Okay, so you want to mix this all around. There's like a billion recipes on the internet for both bath bombs and shower, they call them shower melts or shower steamers. And you can do it, you can use them in a variety of ways. For example, if you, since we're dealing with COVID still, if you have symptoms of COVID and you are feeling, you know, like congested or whatever, you can make a shower steamer and stick it in your shower while you're showering to, you know, make it with like eucalyptus and peppermint or menthol or camphor or whatever, and allow those vapors to steam into your shower to help open your airways. Kittens are very rambunctious this evening. All right, so we're gonna mix all that around. Now, I have a bowl here because we're gonna do an essential oil blend, and it's done in parts. So however much you need total, you need to break it down into its parts to make the blend. So this recipe calls for a tablespoon of essential oil. So rather than just do a tablespoon of one essential oil, why do that? I'm gonna do a blend. My blend is really easy because it's only two things. It is a recommended blend for just relaxing and unwinding, which is usually what I try to do in a shower anyway. But you can make one that is for restful sleep if you like to take showers before going to bed. And that would be 4 parts lavender, 1 part patchouli, 1 part bergamot, and 1 part ylang ylang. Well, you could do one for meditation, which I had toyed with that one, but I didn't really want to do all the math right now to make, because there's a lot. It's 3 parts lavender, 2 parts bergamot, 2 parts clary sage, 2 parts patchouli, and 1 part ylang ylang. And that is a meditation blend. And honestly, my showers are long enough where I can do a 10 to 15 minute meditation while I'm just, scrubbing my hair or whatever. But we are going to do a relax and unwind blend, which is just going to be 4 parts lavender to 3 parts bergamot. So it is not a full half and half recipe. Oh, this is going to be dangerous. So you want to keep that in mind. So once a tablespoon, which means we're going to do probably a tablespoon and a quarter of lavender, and then like a 1/4 tablespoon of bergamot. Sounds about right to me. I'm very good at approximating. All right, so we'll go with that as the 1/4 teaspoon of lavender, or a 1/4 tablespoon, excuse me, of lavender. And that is the full tablespoon of lavender. And then we will get 1/4 tablespoon of bergamot. I mean, I could be more precise and use milliliters and figure it out via milliliters, but I don't want to, because that would mean trying to get all of my pipettes and all of that stuff that I don't really want to mess with right now. So, because I'm just not in that kind of headspace. So, and that's okay. I got a lot accomplished today. I got my to-do list done, and it made me feel really good. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow and getting more stuff accomplished, because it just means I'm that much closer to finishing my dissertation, and that is where I want to be. All right, so this is where it's going to get tricky. We need to stir in the essential oils to everything. Okay, so this is where it's going to clump up, and you're going to have, that's why you need to have it as clump free as possible beforehand, because you got to break all these down and mix it really well. All right, and now the fun part, we're going to start with the 4 tablespoons of water. So what we're going to do is, I mean, we have a full 1/4 cup of water, but what we're going to do is we're going to take off the rings here, because we're about to get our hands dirty, and we are very slowly going to add the water to our mixture and mix it with our hands. So we're going to add approximately 1 tablespoon of water. And I'm going to start by stirring it with a spoon and getting everything mixed together. And then add our 2nd tablespoon of water. You don't necessarily need all 4 tablespoons of water, and you might actually end up needing more water than 4 tablespoons. So we'll see how this goes for me. But what you're looking for is you're looking for this mixture to be moist enough to hold together, okay? We need to add at least another tablespoon of water to this because as you can see, it's not I mean, it will go together, but it doesn't hold together. So there's our 3rd tablespoon of water. Stir that around and in. I am likely going to end up needing all 4 tablespoons for me personally to do this. So, and I think I'm going to do the stars because like I said, they're bigger, but you know, it depends on how long you take showers. Maybe I will do the skulls, but depending on how big your shower steamers are depends on how many you're going to use at a time. So if you're using small ones, you'll probably need to use 2 or 3 at a time. All right, oh, I got one more here. All right. But if you don't take very long showers, it might be more beneficial to make smaller ones so that you can, so you don't have to try to figure out what to do with the partially used one, because when these are dried tomorrow, basically, these dry overnight, when these are dried, you are going to want to pop them out of the silicone mold and store them in like a mason jar or any kind of jar that has a lid and is dry on the inside. All right. Okay, see, that's what we're going for. We're going for the thing to hold together. So just gonna go ahead and fill my skull molds here, break things down. So this is the messy part of your entire process, is filling your molds, because it's gonna go everywhere. Now you can add food coloring to these, like if you want to use like a mica to add color to it, that's perfectly fine. I don't personally have mica that I know of. You can add, you could add lavender flowers to it if you wanted, or whatever flowers you're using. Like if you're making rose ones, you can add rose petals, whatever you want. Again, I am not doing that because my bathtub is still draining from this morning. It's very clogged, so I'd rather not contribute to the stress on the pipes. This house is super old. It was built in the 1880s, and surprisingly, it's not haunted. But I think that's because I cleaned most of that out when we moved in. But yeah, so it's really old. It does rain in our living room from time to time, and that's always distressing. But that's because the pipes between the upstairs apartment and us are tiny, and there's a lot of water that needs to move through them, so it's very ineffective. But that's okay. We're friends with the guys upstairs. If you follow my Instagram, you would have seen that I made, well, at least attempted to make a blue pasta the other day. Oh, hello, Nova. Make a blue pasta the other day out of some blue spirulina, and that is actually what their company is Spira Inc., and they sell spirulina, green and blue. And so I decided to get some and try my hand at making fresh pasta. Can you please pick a spot, Nova? And just, lay down, maybe. So apparently it's lap time. But anyway, I'm just gonna fill the rest of these molds, and then, like I said, you let them dry overnight and carefully pop them out in the morning. Make sure they're dry. Like for example, this feels damp as I'm pushing on it and working with it. You don't want it to feel damp at all. You want it to be perfectly dry. So if it's perfectly dry, go ahead and pop them out, and then you can use them right away. And Friday's a good day for self-care. So I I know that you will probably, this is actually very therapeutic making these too. So, I mean, this counts as self-care. This is preparation for self-care. So, Saturdays are a great day for self-care too. So go ahead and make yourself a batch of these shower bomb or shower fizzers, shower things, and take a nice warm shower, hot shower, and just relax. This, like I said, this blend is relax and unwind. You're going to want to put it away from where water is going to hit it directly. So you want to, I mean, it still needs to, have water around it, but you don't want to put it like right under the water stream for your shower. But close enough that it can dissolve with water. But yeah, I don't know. All that made sense in my head. We just got back from a walk, which was definitely some self-care time, which was nice. But my brain is a little out there and scattered. So hopefully you found this video interesting, at the very least, helpful, useful, I don't know. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you haven't already, ring the notification bell so that and subscribe to the channel so that you will know when my videos come out. Usually, typically, trying to get it to be every Friday around 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. These seem like they make a lot. So that's what I'm shooting for. That's my goal. It's been a bit of a struggle lately because I've been really focused on my dissertation and my budding burlesque career. So I've been working and writing and stressing about things. And then my motherboard went out on my desktop, which, perfect timing, because like, what do I need a desktop for? It's not like I'm writing a dissertation. So yeah, but that's something that I'm hoping to take care of very soon. So anyway, whole bunch of words, a whole bunch of rambling. Just remember, in this game that we call life, you are not alone. You are never as alone as what you feel. The brain weasels will lie to you. The brain weasels will tell you that nobody likes you, that you're worthless, that, life isn't worth living. But I am here to tell you they lie. And you are worthy. You are good enough. You were born perfect. And somewhere along the way, we convinced ourselves that we weren't perfect. And it takes a lot of courage and determination to work past all of that and get back to seeing yourself as the perfect creature that you are, the worthy creature that you are. So just remember, you are not alone, and you are deeply, deeply loved. We'll see you next time.